All right, here we go. Brandi Disterheft joining us from New York City. And here we go.
Hi, James. Can you see me?
I cannot. There's a little button to your...
Got it.
There, low down. Yeah!
Yay.
Hey!
Hi, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Is that your flat? Is this your place in New York City?
Yeah, does it look really messy?
Well, no, it looks really spacious for New York City. Most people live in closets.
Yeah. It's pretty small. Hey,
Where are you in New York? You're north, right? You're uptown?
Uptown, ain't no place but uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, this is awesome. I love that you're cleaning up during this. Hello.
Okay. Now it's good, right?
It's really good.
I like this puppet.
Oh, you like the puppet behind me? Yeah. Yeah, he'll get some real work soon.
Really?
I'm still getting to know him. We're just hanging out for the first while. Hey, congratulations on your Kensington Market Jazz Festival appearance.
Oh, thank you so much.
It must be really an adjustment because you played here live the year before.
Yes. Well,
Right.
I think, was it 2 years in a row?
Yeah.
Or maybe we skipped a year. But
Oh, I think I remember you at Supermarket 2 times. Yeah. Yeah, amazing. So listen, before we talk about your new record, which blows my mind, best record ever, I want to start in the early days with your mom, because your mom was a really good singer and B3 player in Chicago, and then did she move to Vancouver?
Yeah, you got it. Well, my mom was the pianist and my aunt was the singer. So they used to play together.
Yeah.
And then she moved to Vancouver and she met my dad. He's in the music business for Yamaha. He was in for years. So he was selling microphones. And then my mom came touring, passing through, via Las Vegas or wherever they were. They were up in the Dakotas at that point. And then...
Yeah. So then they meet, you are born, and then your aunt keeps telling you that singing is a good idea, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up listening to her, so she has this iconic voice, and she'd always send me projects, what she's doing, and she's in the commercial world too, so we'd hear her on like the Barbie commercials, and she has such an array of sound.
Right, like a real session musician, a session singer. Yeah,
you got it. And she's really precise on like your sight reading and the tuning and just a level of competency.
Yeah. So you started playing bass while you were in Vancouver, right?
Yeah. Well, I started on piano when I was 5, and then bass when I was 13.
And then you came to Toronto and took Toronto by storm. What year would have that been?
Not sure, James.
Me too.
But I came to study at Humber with John Thompson.
Right on.
Yeah, they were giving scholarships, so that was very nice. If I didn't get the scholarship, I probably wouldn't have pursued music.
Wow. And your first record won a Juno, the very first real jazz debut album called Debut.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks, James. I'm glad you know about all that.
Well, the thing is, the second side album, now this is the one where, in my opinion, Twilight Curtain opened a lot of doors for you because you wrote the song, you played bass on the song, and you sang kind of as if you've always been singing. But I think that album, that second side album, is the first time you really started to sing, right?
That's right. And still, Renee Lee is on that album, and so is Holly Cole.
Right.
So it was an introduction, but still not singing by myself. Like, the whole album, yeah.
And then at some point, I think you mentioned to me once, maybe it was a fleeting thought, but you said you're really focusing on bass playing because if you do a big production where you sing, that means all your gigs, everyone's expecting you to come out and sing and do, like, it's a lot of extra pressure.
Yeah, a lot of extra pressure.
because it's on your health. Like if you have a bit of a cold, you can play bass, but can you actually hit the notes when you're singing? So it's kind of an overall mental and physical
Absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad you kept doing it, because all your records after that, you just kept singing and playing and writing and doing all of it.
Yeah, and here in New York, I have a regular Tuesday and a regular Thursday gig. So that's really like under my name. So that's really great for just workshopping and realizing, especially when you're singing and playing at the same time, the learning curve takes so long. So I can't just learn a tune in a day. It's almost like 6 months, believe it or not.
No,
so
sure.
It's nice to have those venues to be like, okay, I just bombed, and that's okay.
Yeah, because now you're going to do something and blow them away again.
Right, or just, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I know a lot of people in New York who know you and you don't know them. They're not musicians. You haven't played together, but your name's getting out there. And how long have you been in New York? Have you been there like 10 years already?
Yeah, 10 years.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So when it says New York City bassist, they're telling the truth, because you paid your dues. 10 years of playing late night clubs and going home with your bass late at night, right?
Yeah, just playing every night, so it's nice. And there's so many scenes in New York, from traditional jazz to swing jazz to the dancing scene to like bebop to hard bop to free music. So it's nice. You can kind of delve in all these scenes, similar to Toronto, but I guess just a bigger scale. Like you can, like you said, not know people even after 10 years, which is exciting.
Yeah. And also opens later, like Smalls, for example, you probably met a lot of people you work with from jamming really late at night.
Yeah, and just being on the bandstand late at night. Yeah.
Yeah. What's some of your favorite late night hangs like that? Where are some of your favorite clubs to go to for?
Yes, Smalls is really great because you're always going to see people. I really like Mesro's, both those. Jazz at Lincoln Center, Dizzy's is wonderful, and they treat you really nice. And they have a jam session there. Well, this is all in the past, right? Everything's
right, of course. Right now we're on a break.
Yeah, Smalls and Mesro's opened up again. And I love Smoke is always on my way home, so I, try and hang out there.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Right on. Now, when you did the album Gratitude, was that the first record when you were already based in New York recording?
No, actually, Second Side, I had just moved. So I remember mixing and all that while in New York.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I was already there in my second apartment. So I was already there for a year. Mind you, I was back and forth on that overnight bus, right? Still trying to make some cash in Toronto because I still had some lucrative work.
Yep. And then Blue Canvas.
You're so sweet for going through all the albums.
Yeah, well, what was it like? What was recording that record like? Because that record felt like New York. Yeah,
so before, like, that prior record was Rini Rossness, and that was wonderful. And then I just love picking these wonderful piano players. So then the Blue Canvas was with Harold Mayburn.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the trio. The Harold Mayburn trio was the sound that I gravitated towards. He's a monster, and it was a legend. And of course, with Joe Farnsworth on drums, just had everything that you wanted in music, right? He'd start like really fast and up and lively, and then take you to this out piece, and then a beautiful romantic ballad, and then finish with a boogaloo. Right. It was like perfect. It was like a party, and so I hired those guys to record with me, and then we toured, and then it's nice when you get the reciprocation. So then I was playing in the Harold Mayburn trio too, so that's nice,
Right. Now you've had some other people like that. Hank Jones, you got to play with him for a while.
Yeah, Hank Jones, but that was through Just in Time Records, and my friend J.P. Leduc.
Yep.
That was wonderful. I remember him saying, I used to hit really, that was before I was studying with Ron Carter, and I used to pull so hard. I think you would remember, James.
I did.
And I remember Hank Jones saying, "Oh, that's why Oscar Peterson likes you." I was like, well, I guess maybe because of Ray Brown was like very, very strong, right?
Right. Well, I have another theory.
Okay,
I knew you back then, and when Oscar Peterson saw you, he said, "She is what we call serious."
Yeah.
Right? Well, there were two things about you. Your playing was really confident and hard, and you were in it, but so was your face. In fact, you were like this. One time I saw you like, and I'm looking at you. First time I saw you play live, and I went, oh, I hope she's friendly, because she's a really good bass player, and I'm about to tell her that, but I don't want her to think it's just because she's pretty. It's because she's a really good bass player. And then you were friendly, and I was like, phew.
Yeah.
But I think you're serious. The accolades are up the yin-yang. So Renee, Benny Green also speaks highly of you. You worked with him for a bit, right?
Well, with Anne Drummond.
Yeah.
And yeah, we rehearsed a bit through his tunes, and he's very, very sweet. I love his writing and his blogs and his stories.
Me too. And what about your favorite percussionist these days, Portino? I got to meet him in New York.
Yes.
What a magic man he is. How did you first meet Portino?
Yeah, so Portinho is from Brazil. And he's a definitive like Brazilian drummer. He's in his 80s now. So I was just gravitated towards, again, like really wonderful music, and became friends with him and his pianist, same idea, Klaus Mueller. So they were already a team. And then they started hiring me for their Brazilian gigs. And Portinho took me under his wing and be like, he would say, Brandi, listen to this, or listen to that, or don't do this, or don't do that. So he kind of molded me into his Brazilian bassist. Mm-hmm. And of course, he has such a repertoire that you've never known of, because he's an encyclopedia of the Brazilian songbook.
Well, that brings us to Surfboard. I have never heard that song, and it stays in my head all the time.
Does it really?
Like, not a bad earworm, but it's relentless. It doesn't stop.
I know. One person was like, why are you starting with that tune? They were almost like, it's because it's so polyrhythmic. I love it, but yeah, and the video is great for that. We had some Hawaii footage. I don't know if you saw that. My documentary friend, I asked her for some B-roll.
Right.
It's really nice.
Well, when we're talking videos and the Surfboard album, I have to say, how do you pronounce Coupe de Foudre?
Yeah, Coupe de Foudre.
Coupe de Foudre.
Yeah, which I read in a Fitzgerald book.
That's a work of art. That's like a beautiful video. You look amazing. The director should win an award for that. That was really, really something.
Jerome Barry. Yeah, he's in Paris. And he was recommended to me by one of my very good friends and singers, Tatiana Eva Marie. So she's like, you need to make some more videos. And
so he came in, was it pre-COVID when he came in to shoot?
Yeah.
That was just beautiful footage. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and that dancer is fantastic. Danielle Lima. I remember we were on the video shoot, and the DP was like, oh my God, where did you get that dancer from? She's amazing. And he couldn't stop staring at her. And I was like, what about me?
No, but she's really beautiful, and she's got the moves.
I know.
Wow.
And she was lovely. She's pretty close up, too. You're just kind of like...
Do you have other video plans for Surfboard?
So I released a third one, which is the big feature for Mr. George Coleman, who of course is from, made his name playing with Miles and Herbie Hancock and, the famous quintet. And so I grew up listening to him, but I met him through Harold, because he and Harold grew up in Memphis together. So that's that whole Memphis sound. And so that ballad, My Foolish Heart, which of course Bill Evans made so popular, he wanted to record that. I asked, what ballad do you want to play? And so I made a video, a nice sort of like musings of New York City. It's nice. Cool. And I'd like to make more.
Yeah.
Find people. I don't know. It takes time. I would like to do more. It seems that's the only avenue where people will listen to your music, right? Is YouTube.
It's where they find it in a way, right? And then they can go get the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you listen? Are you on Spotify or?
I tend to do most of my stuff YouTube surfing. I mean, people send me stuff all the time, so half of my day is opening files and emails. But no, I don't really subscribe to Spotify. I don't like how they don't pay people. So
I know.
And with YouTube as well, a lot of times, if somebody takes the time to make even a decent video, you don't have to have a lot of money, but something that doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
I think it helps express, just to get people interested. Not that you have to make all videos for all songs, but just to get that first bite. So
I was playing it for one of my friends who's not a jazz buff. And it's almost like she wasn't listening. It's almost like she was then watching the video. And I had to say, like, the music comes first and the video comes second, but maybe it's not anymore, you know.
Well, it is live and it is ultimately, you know, on radio and everything else. But I think people right now, when they're all shut inside, I think they're spending a lot of time listening and looking at things.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know how much longer we have. How are things in New York for you?
Well, they're pretty good. So my 2 regulars came back. They're at 25% capacity. And the clubs are slowly coming back. And of course, there's like the online shows, you know, ticketed online shows.
Yeah.
From the big major clubs like Birdland and Smoke. And so I guess we all miss the hang, you know.
Right.
You know, I think Smalls is closed so early now.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But it's been great. I mean, I don't need to work every single night and like 3 gigs on the weekends. So it's very nice to have time to write. I was just writing right now and I practiced a lot. You know, I had sort of a milestone birthday, so there's no more excuses. So I got a lot done that I've always wanted to do. I'm sure you're the same way, right?
Yes, exactly. And you know what? I remember hitting 30. It's a great milestone.
You're great. James.
So you're going to start working on a new record, knowing you're writing songs already.
Yeah, I'm writing songs. You know, Dolly Parton, I had bought a CD, because I do still buy CDs, of her greatest hits. And I would like to like just make have a little more commercial success and then go back to playing the sort of pure jazz. And I consider that my music almost to be a little pure jazz. It probably still doesn't sound that way.
I think every song you've recorded is more jazz than you maybe think it is, because you can get so deep into it.
Yeah.
But you know, things like Twilight Curtain and things like Coupe de Forge. I mean, that's definitely almost like musical theater-ish. How big it is, how big that song is. But I think it's very accessible. So
yeah. So
just sally forth, and whatever you do, I'm going to be buying it. That's for sure.
You're so sweet. How's your writing going, James?
I'm kind of in spy jazz mode, and I think I might be tapped out soon because I've written like 20 songs, and I don't know if any of them are good. So I have to work.
I saw one that you sent, and it was amazing.
Oh well, that's one. Yeah, 1 out of 20. We'll see. But you know what? This is a time to be creative. This isn't a time to mope. If you have finger paints, if you know how to macrame and make an owl, if you know how to write a song or write a poem, it just seems like this is a good time to slow down and do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I can't wait to see you in 2021, Brandi Disterheft.
I know. I can't wait to see you, James. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, and congrats on an amazing album. Everybody should buy Surfboard.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.